Hey guys, welcome back. Okay, today we're going to be going over, yes, we've got another one of our episodes. We're going to compare the Super Nintendo to the arcade. The Super Nintendo was an amazing machine and it did some great arcade games. A few variations different, but some of them were pretty close indeed. And I think they hold up very well still to this day. Good arcade conversions they did, awesome console. So let's take a look. I've chosen 5 games. So let's take a look at 5 or Super Nintendo games compared to the arcade.
So this one I've chosen is Killer Instinct. Now, Killer Instinct was released in the arcades 1994 by Rare, brought to us by Midway, and this was first released on the Ultra 64, later on to be known as the Nintendo 64, or variation of that. Now, to bring this to the Super Nintendo was almost a huge impossibility, and they managed to pull it off. A huge roster of characters, so many amazing combos to choose from, even Orchid's Ultra 48 hit combo. There was a bit of blood in there. You've got your revival moves at the end, you can pull back a bit of energy. This was a nigh on impossible port. It was amazing in the arcade, and there was a lot of scaling in there. The characters well animated. To bring this to the Super Nintendo would be impossible, but they did a great effort. Yeah, the characters were shrunk down, the animation was shrunk down, the colours were slightly shrunk down, and I think it did a fantastic job. This game is absolutely amazing. It still holds up well, and when you're pulling off them combos and you've got the ultra combo towards the end, absolutely fantastic. Now let's have a look and listen to the sound for them both side by side.
Jago! Orchid! Fight on! Ready! Master of the Bumble! Ready! Purple Combo! Fight on! Ready! Super Combo! Ready!
Next up, I've gone with Magic Sword, or Magic Sword Heroic Fantasy. It's known in the arcade. Now, let's get the downside out of the way. It's 2 player in the arcade, and it was only 1 player on the Super Nintendo. This was brought to us by Capcom, released in 1990, and personally, I think they did an absolutely fantastic port. This is one of my favourites. I don't know, there's so much charm about this game. It's your side-scrolling hack and slash, going through a tower full of monsters, baddies, fiends, call them what you want, and on your way there you collect keys, and each key every now and then you'll come across a gate, open the gate up, and you'll release what we call a sidekick that will stay by your side until you decide to choose another sidekick. Now your sidekick can power up, so level 2, level 3, level 4, I think all the way up to level 8. You can power up yourself with better shields, better swords, and your health will go up as well. Now, while you're going through these 50 levels, at the beginning you don't have to start on the level 1, you can skip to like level 5, 10, 15, 20 and so on. So you can get pretty much close towards the end, but you won't be doing it on 1 credit. Now, I thought this conversion was absolutely brilliant. Yeah, it is slightly scaled down a bit, but let's have a listen and compare them side to side, visually and with the sound, and let me know your thoughts. Next up, we've gone with King of the Dragons. Yes, another Capcom arcade. This was a hack and slash beat 'em up, released in 1991 and converted to the Super Nintendo. And the good news is it was simultaneously 2 players in the arcade with 5 players to choose from. In the Super Nintendo version, it is the same, a simultaneous 2-player with 5 players to choose from. I thought they did really well on this one as well. This was another good one of my favourites as well. Everything's in there, all your power-ups, and you've got your little ogres to fight, you've got your magic to collect on the way, and some of the bosses are really fantastic, like a Minotaur that will you have to fight on 2 levels. You jump on the 2nd level later on as you fall through it, and later on you've got some smaller dragons, and then to get to the end of the boss, the big red huge dragon to fight. Now all these is when you get to the end of the level, you collect a power-up like a better sword or a better shield, and your level goes up a little bit. And I thought this was absolutely fantastic. Great music as well. Now let's have a listen to them side by side so we can compare the music and the sound, and let me know your thoughts. Next up we have got Knights of the Round, loosely based on King Arthur. All the characters are there to choose from. What they did in the arcade, this is very similar to King of the Dragons. Yeah, but all the characters are there. 3 characters to choose from this time. You've got Arthur, Lancelot and Percival. Now each one, as you get to the end of the level, you can power up. You get better leveling up sort of thing. And then it's straightforward hack and slash. Lots of knights to fight. Every now and then you'll pick a barrel or a blockade and you can destroy it with your weapon. If you find some gold, if you hit it even more, the gold breaks up into more pieces. This one, very straightforward. Great version in the arcade, absolutely brilliant, and I think they converted it very, very well. Clear or almost near pixel for pixel, as you're about to see. So let's have a listen to them and see what they look like side by side, arcade against Super Nintendo, and let me know your thoughts. Next up, we have got Super R-Type, brought to us by IRM, released in the arcade, brought to us in 1991. Now, there were some other levels borrowed from R-Type 2, but renamed on the Super Nintendo as Super R-Type because it wasn't exactly the same. But the levels that were the same were pretty close. Now, I find everything to be there, the ones that were brought from the arcade, the levels. Now, I find everything is pretty close to sound, the music, almost near arcade perfect, pixel per pixel. I found this one very good indeed. It is quite challenging, not one of those you're going to finish overnight, but when you compare it to the arcade, you see that it is pretty close. So let's have a listen and listen to the sound and the music, and let me know your thoughts.
Okay, so there you have it. Personally, one of my favourites. I think Killer Instinct did a great job. I think it did really well. It holds well. It was a hard conversion to do, big shoes to fill, but I think it held up really well. And Magic Sword as well. What about that one? That's one of my favourites. And, you know, almost, it was very close. You can see there is a slight difference, but very close indeed. So, guys, Super Nintendo versus the arcade, and another version got off. So let me know your thoughts. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Leave a like, leave a comment, and I will see you soon.